I just have a little coaching I have to do first. How are you all today? That's good. Oh, brothers. Why don't I tell you, this is the second one, that's the last one. Okay, thanks. I have to have somebody else help me, otherwise I have to get up and down a bunch of times. You saw me on TV? Wow. Was I in David Letterman? Of course I was doing church music. What else would I be doing? I didn't have the kids on TV? What kids? You kids? Where were you? You weren't in it. Yeah, don't worry. They're still back there. They haven't left you behind. There's a lot of us in the church that make sure, Yannick, that you're not left behind. Okay, now you have to listen and look at these pictures. Liam, you can't see them. Can you move so you can see the picture up there? What is this a picture of? Corey? Some lady screaming? Well, it certainly goes with the occasion, to tell you the truth. She's what? She's crying? She's crying and screaming. But what is it? What is it that you see? What has happened? Look at her dress, Fiona. What's happened here? It's a wedding. She had a wedding. And her husband, her new husband, is a Navy officer. See, that's a Navy formal uniform. And so when you get married in the Navy, the other officers hold their, why the heck they have a sword nowadays, I don't know. But they have a sword like this, and then you're supposed to walk under the swords. It's like a ceremonial thing, like this is a big day for you. So they're doing it for you. Only one sword made a little mistake, didn't it? What happened? Can you see it now? What happened with one sword, Philip? You know. Her veil, yeah, took her veil right off her head. So she's not screaming. Well, maybe she is, I don't know. But the veil just went up in the air. Now the guy with the sword, do you think he tried to do that? Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. I was in the Navy and I think he tried to do it. Corey? He was probably jealous. Ooh. This kid's gonna grow up to be a soap opera writer. Number two, so was that a mistake to lift up her veil? That wasn't supposed to happen, was it, Chloe? No. She was supposed to go down with her veil on. Now this one is another wedding. What's happening? Uh-oh. The groom, who is obviously a klutz, cuts the second row of cake under a first row. You know what is going to be written on his tombstone when he dies? Duh! Man. So look at the lady way over in the corner there. Look at the look on her face. She knows what's going to happen, doesn't she? Now, was that a mistake or did he do that on purpose? That was a mistake. Let me tell you, when you go to weddings, the bride and the groom are so nervous. Sometimes they're shaking. When I've performed wedding ceremonies, sometimes the bride and groom come up and they stand here in front of me. They stand right about where Ann is sitting, and this is the way they look. Why do they look that way? They're stunned. You know what stunned means? They don't know what's happening because they're so nervous. Like when you're really nervous, don't you drop things and stuff like that? Make mistakes? Yeah, okay. Now the next one, Rebecca. I don't know if they caught the cake or not. Okay, but here's another wedding picture. Uh-oh. Where's the cake? On the floor. Yeah. Wonder how it got there. That's another screaming bride here. Looks like her hat's going to fall off? Her head? Oh, she's not screaming that loud. Well, anyway, the cake fell. Now, does that mean the marriage is off? No. What if the man dropped the cake? Some people said, yeah, I guess so. What if the man dropped the cake? He was carrying the cake, and dropped it. What would the bride say? You're fired? You're fired. There's a lot of women out there that are going to try this week to see if that works. Okay. Accidents happen, right? Accidents happen. Sometimes you drop something, sometimes you spill something, sometimes you bump into something, sometimes you break something. Accidents happen. And they also happen to your friends with regard to you. For instance, like if you're playing a game and your friend doesn't play very well, or they make a big mistake and you lose the game, did they want to lose the game? No, they wanted to win the game. And people don't want to drop wedding cakes and they don't want to spill things and all kinds of stuff like that. Mistakes happen. And if your parents say to you, oh, well, it was just a mistake, don't worry about it, that's the same kind of thing you need to say to other people. Because other people, sometimes they're nervous about something, or they're unhappy about something, or they're not paying attention, and they make a lot of mistakes. I was teaching school one day, and one of my students kept making mistakes, and she was very angry, and a couple of times she yelled at me. You're not supposed to yell at the teacher, you know. And she yelled, sit down, Noah. He'll find his way, don't worry. And so she yelled at me, and then she wrote out some problems that we were working on, and I went over and checked her work while she was working on it, and she wasn't anywhere near right, you know. She was wrong on every problem. And so finally I knelt down next to her and I said, what's wrong today? You're having a bad day. Her mother was having surgery that day, very serious surgery in the hospital, and she was so upset. I didn't know that she couldn't hardly function. So she was making mistakes. So sometimes there's real serious reasons why people make mistakes. Now, if somebody makes a mistake and you're playing a game, let's say, do you kick them out of the game? No. Oh, you make too many mistakes. Get out of here. You know, some people want to do that.
If you do a mistake with pencil,
You can just erase it. That's exactly right, Emily. Try erase and try again.
And if you have a colored pencil with a red on it, you can just erase it.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. It's important to be able to say that. And when you make a mistake, you don't say to yourself, I hope you don't say to yourself, oh, I'm so dumb, or oh, I'm so clumsy, oh, I never get it right. You know, there's some kids who grow up and they say that. I don't know whether their parents say that to them or not. But that's not true. It's just a mistake. And mistakes can be fixed. Can they eat this cake off the floor? Well, down to about an inch. Couldn't you? If you just got, you know, you could get like a big snow shovel and just, couldn't you?
No.
If it was a good enough cake, boy, I'll tell you, I'd find a snow shovel somewhere. Oh. And started over, right?
Yeah, but then
It looked like a butterfly. You started out to make a donkey and it looked like a butterfly. Sounds like a good idea to me anyway. Well, thanks for listening, guys. You can go to your classes now.